Hello students, welcome. My name is Mohammad Khalid. I'll be teaching you physics for this class. Okay, so let's start with the key concepts of the chapter that we are going to discuss in this chapter. First of all, we will understand what is kinetic theory of matter. Means what is the kinetic theory? What is the kinetic theory means? How does molecules of the matter moves around, or do they possess any kinetic energy? And even if they possess, then what is the effect of that kinetic energy? All these things we are going to discuss in this topic. Okay, and the next topic is change of state of matter. Change of state of matter, we earlier in previous classes we have known that there are three states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. Solid, liquid and gas. So these states, how can we interchange with each other? Depending on these interchange, we have different kind of formations, such as diffusion, evaporation, melting, freezing, condensation, sublimation and deposition. Okay, these seven process, or we will study these process in the upcoming lectures. Okay, so let's start with the first topic, that is kinetic theory of matter. First of all, let's recall what is matter. Earlier in previous classes, like in sixth class, also we have studied that what is matter. So how do we define matter? Anything that is having mass and it occupies some space is known as matter. Anything that is having mass and occupies some space is known as matter. यानी कि किसी भी कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट है जिसके अंदर मास है and it occupies some space, means it must have some volume, then we will say that this is a matter. So matter exists in solid, liquid and gases. These are three states, physical states of matter, and these states are interchangeable. Means we can change solid state to liquid state, liquid state to gaseous state, and vice versa, gas to liquid, liquid to solid. Also we can do solid to gas and gaseous to solid. This is also possible. We can interchange the solid phase to directly to gaseous phase and gaseous phase to solid phase. So depending upon which kind of change is there, we name it differently. Such as suppose that if we are changing the phase from solid to liquid, then it will be known as diffusion or melting. It will be known as diffusion or melting. Okay, suppose that we have ice cube of ice. Let's see, we have a ice cube here. This is our ice cube. Okay, let's name it, this is ice cube. Ice cube is what? It's in solid form. And how do we get an ice cube? We freeze some water, na? We freeze some water, we pour water in some containers, and then we freeze it in the refrigerator, then we get the ice cubes. That means ice cube is the solid form of water, solid form of water. Now what will happen if we supply some amount of heat? If we if we heat up this ice cube, then what will happen? Then we will see that this ice cube will be converted into, this will be converted into water. Suppose that we have taken one bowl and we have put it, we have put this ice cube, we have put this ice cube in this water bowl, in this bowl, and we are doing what? We are heating it. Okay, we are heating it. So what will happen? After some time, this ice cube will melt. Ice cube will melt and it will convert into the liquid form. It will convert into the liquid form. So earlier we have taken as a ice cube, it was in solid form. Now it has been converted into the liquid form. So from solid to liquid it has been converted. We will say it is the process of melting. It is the process of melting or diffusion. Okay, Now again, if we provide more heat, then what will happen? Then we will see that vapors is coming out of the some vapors. Suppose that we have, this is the burner and we are heating it up, and here we have our water. Now we have raised the temperature, and we have added more heat. Then what will happen? Then at this point of time we will see some vapors are coming out of the vessel. Some vapors are coming out of the vessel, है ना? So this vapor is what? This vapor is a gas. Vapor is a gas. So what we are doing? We are adding more energy, we are adding more heat to the water, we are adding more heat to the water, we are adding more heat to the water, and it is converting into the vapor. It is converting into the vapor. So we have converted liquid into vapor. So what do we say it? What do we call it? The conversion of liquid into vapor is known as evaporation. It is known as evaporation. So we will say this is the process of evaporation. This is the process of evaporation. Got it? So different types of processes will be there, and we will study them in detail in the upcoming lectures. First of all, we understand what is intermolecular forces. Okay, we already know that the matter is made up of atoms or molecules. If an atom is not present in it is not in existence, single atom is not in existence, then what will it do? It will combine, two or more atoms will combine with each other, and it will form a molecule. suppose that we have taken Suppose that we have taken one atom and another atom. This is what? Positive. We have combined two atoms of, suppose that this is the atom of gas, oxygen gas. Okay, oxygen gas. Let's say it is oxygen gas. Okay, so this is the atom of oxygen gas, but single atom of oxygen is not present in the, it is not in existence. Then what will it do? It will combine with the another atom, and it will form a, it will get attracted with each other, and it will form a molecule of, it will form a molecule of oxygen. Molecule of oxygen, it will be written as O2. So what do we what we have done? We have added two atoms of the oxygen and to form a molecule of the oxygen. Okay, so now we have seen that these two molecules of oxygen, these two atoms of these two atoms of the oxygen, they have some particular space in between them. These are not completely attracted towards each other, they have some space. Let's make it, draw it again. Here it is positive charge, that is known as nucleus. So we will see that some space is there in between these molecules, some space. This is the space. Here, look at here, this is the space that we are talking about. So this space is there even if they are combined, but this space will be there. So this space is known as intermolecular space. What is known as it is? It is known as intermolecular space. Even if they attract with each other, how do they these two atoms combine with each other? They get attracted with each other, na? Even if they attract each other, there is a space in between the atoms, all the nuclei of the atoms. This space is known as intermolecular space. What does it known as? It is known as intermolecular space. We are having this space, but these molecules are bind up with each other with a force which is known as intermolecular force. This force is known as intermolecular force. Intermolecular means the force between the molecules. Intermolecular. Okay, we are lacking the space, so let's clean it. Okay, let me name it. Here it is written that intermolecular force. Let's read it, the definition of the intermolecular force. The space between two or more molecules of the matter is called intermolecular space. Space between the two or more molecules, and the force by which these molecules get attracted towards each other is known as intermolecular force. Got it? Suppose that again, let's recall it. We have taken two molecules of the oxygen. We have taken atoms of the oxygen, because single atom of oxygen is not in existence in nature. So what it will do? It will combine with another atom and will form a molecule. It will form a molecule. It will form a molecule. So we will write it as molecule of the oxygen as O2. Now if we look it closely, if we zoom in it, then we will find that there is a difference, there is a distance or space in between the molecules. So this space is known as intermolecular space. Even there is a space, but these molecules these atoms are not moving apart. Why? Because these atoms have been bound together with a force which is known as intermolecular force. Okay, so I think we have got the idea of intermolecular force, what is an intermolecular space and what is intermolecular force. So any space between the molecules will be known as intermolecular space, and the force by which, attraction force by which the atoms of the molecule are combined together are known as intermolecular force. So what does kinetic theory of matter says? What is basically the kinetic theory of matter? What does it say? Let's check it. First point, it says that all molecules are made up of tiny particles which are known as molecules or atoms. If single atom is in existence, it is present, then we will consider the atom as tiny particle. If it is not in existence, then they will form molecules. Okay, so what does the kinetic theory of matter says? That all the matter, not molecules, it will say all matter are made up of tiny particles which is known as molecules or atom. Don't correct it, it's not molecules, it is matter. All matter are made up of tiny particle which is known as molecules or atom. Second point is the particles having space. Earlier in previous slide we have discussed that two particles or two atoms of the oxygen is having some space. So that space was known as intermolecular distance or intermolecular space. But these in general, if we zoom into the level of the molecule, then we will find that these tiny particles, they possess some kinetic energy. Kinetic energy, what is a kinetic energy? Kinetic energy, if a body is having some speed or velocity, है ना? If a body is having some velocity or speed, then we will say the body is having some kinetic energy. So what is a kinetic energy? Kinetic energy means the energy possessed by the object, due to its speed or velocity. Energy possessed by the object due to its speed or velocity. Energy possessed by the object due to speed or velocity is known as kinetic energy. So we are saying that these molecules are having kinetic energy, these molecules are having some kinetic energy, and if they have kinetic energy, they will obviously move. They move in a zigzag random motion. Or random motion. Next point says that the kinetic energy of the particles is directly proportional to the temperature. As the temperature of the matter is raised, kinetic energy also raises. kinetic energy also increases. If we increase the temperature, the kinetic energy will increase. If we decrease the temperature, the kinetic energy of the matter will also decrease. These particles attract with each other, which is known as intermolecular force, and the intermolecular force is inversely proportional to the distance. Inversely proportional to the distance. This intermolecular force is inversely proportional to the distance. What does this mean? Inversely proportional to the distance means it means that, suppose that, okay, let's use the whiteboard. Show the whiteboard. Okay, so what it was saying, that we had taken, let's see, we are taking the example of oxygen. We are taking example of oxygen. We have seen that two atoms of oxygen, they are bind together, to form a molecule of the oxygen, to form a molecule of the oxygen, है ना? We have seen that, we have seen that. But if the distance between these molecules, this, it was having positive charge inside, in the center we are having positive charge, and around the circumference it is having negative charge. So what is saying, it is saying that if the distance between these two atoms is more, here the distance as compared to the this one is more, है ना? It is larger than this one. So if let us say this distance is r1 and this distance is r2, here r2 is greater than r1, so the intermolecular force between these particles, let's say here intermolecular force is F1 and here intermolecular force is F2, so we will say that F2 will be less as compared to F1. Why? Because here force is inversely proportional to distance between the atoms, distance between the particles. So we can say that if force is increasing, if the distance is increasing, okay, if the distance is increasing, the force will decrease, and if the distance is decreasing, the force will be increased. Okay, so hopefully you got all the points that we have discussed today. You have to prepare a notebook. You have to prepare a notebook, for separate notebook for physics, and you have to note it all the points that I have shared here. You have to note them down, and we will do some exercise in upcoming lectures. Okay, till then, take care. Thank you.